Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Monday night. They will be taking on the 5.807 kilometer with 1 DRS zone and 18 corners. It is the Suzuka International Circuit in Japan. I am the Johnny Damon. I am your commentator tonight, and we look forward to having some great action on the track here for the season opener in the Monday night. As of right now, it appears we do have dry weather for the qualifying with cloudy, overcast. Just pulling up all the information here, and we will get rolling in qualifying. We do have some new folks on the grid and a returning driver in trackside, defending champion, former champion of CCRL Monday nights, and he will be back on the grid in that Ferrari. Some new folks on the grid. Bald Guy Racing in the Kick Sauber. Rocket Man is a individual who joined at the end of last season, but is looking to make some more impact this season. We got Lepsky on the grid as well. Lou in the Williams and Swazi in the Mercedes. Those are all your new drivers this season. Let's see who is out on circuit. Osmanian Devil currently the first car on circuit, as he's making his way through the S's of Sector 1. And just give me 1 minute here. I am going to be inviting in some folks here to the qualifying. So we got Modern Ty and Pat. I don't see you online. I know you're working on that currently. As Osmanian Devil's currently making his way through the hairpin of turn 11 off the exit. You have 130R, and I believe the other one was like 120 something R, but hold on, let me just send more invites. But Osmanian Devil currently on his first lap through first turn and into the S section. He's now going to carry as much speed. He does have a Red Bull. Oh, kind of in a bad spot there through Sector 1. Osmanian Devil's now going to make his way up the hill through the left-hander of turn, I believe that is 7 into 8. Of course, my phone is not doing what I want it to. There we go. And we're going to head right down into the hairpin of turn 11. It'll come off that. And I believe this is 120R. I might be wrong right here. 120R. Now going to carry himself towards the spoon curve of Sector 2. And we'll see how he does here off the exit on the throttle very early at the apex. Going to carry all that speed and momentum all the way to the outside, burning the ERS down this long straight, heading towards 130R, 113.9 through Sector 2 split. He's going to make his way into Casio Triangle here, heavy on the brakes all the way down into third gear, running over the entrance curves to the both of them. Now tucks it to the inside, heading to the start-finish line, stays it to the outside with a 130.9. And that will be your first lap, and Swazi jumps up to the top, trackside in P2. The Boomster here making his way through 130R, Komakopa up into P3. And now the Boomster is heading towards Casio Triangle. The debooster is now going to take over your provisional pole. Trackside is going to pull off the circuit through the hairpin. Natural is making his way through Spoon Curve. He is on a lap. He does have the McLaren in front of him. He's going to get a little bit of dirty air. Now going to carry his speed down this long backstretch, heading towards 130R. See where he is at the 112.542. Now heading in towards Casio Triangle, looking for a pretty solid lap to see if he can leap himself up the board off the exit of turn 17. Makes his way through 18, keeps it to the inside, and across the start finish line he goes. Right in front of Trackside, he's going to take that second row, P3. And so there you have it, Natural. Bald Guy Racing currently on a lap, making his way through 130R now. He's going to head in towards Casio Triangle on the brakes. All of his deployment has been used for that ERS. It's going to affect him here as he's making a run towards the start-finish line. He's going to let it slide to the outside, and he's going to come across the line in P8 right in front of his teammate Ray Lobo. So far, you got both Saubers and both McLarens inside the top 10. The rest of the grid is pretty well separated for everybody else, as Bald Guy has leaped himself up the board. Mr. Miller making his way into first turn now, and he's going to carry his speed off the exit in towards the S-curves. Through turn 3, now 4. And then 5 and 6, looking for the hill of turn 7. And Mr. Miller is currently in the hairpin off the exit of turn 10. Going to make a run towards 120R, now towards Spoon Curve. Alright, and now Bongit is currently on a lap in through Spoon Curve. He's now going to get back on the power off the exit. Dude, I don't... Oh my gosh. Rocketman is not on a lap here. Mr. Miller is going into pit lane. Trackside here, making his way through Sector 1, currently on a lap. Up the hill through Dunlop Curve. Now making his way into turn 8. And Swazi's going to take your provisional poll once again. Modern Thai has finally joined up. Try to booster again and try patty cake. As Lou comes across the line, and it looks like he's going to be starting a lap, making his way down into the first turn. We got about a minute 20 to go here in qualifying. Everybody is on their final laps, and Lou off the edge of the first turn gets a little squirrely there as he's now going to make his way through Sector 1, and he is keeping it within the track limits. Rocket Man up to provisional pole with a 128.7. That does appear to be his final lap there. Let's see, we got a Haas about to make his way towards the line. That's Peak Hour getting ready to start a lap. Comacopa now in the Casio Triangle on his final lap of the qualifying session off the exit of turn 18. And he's going to run towards the line, tucked it to the inside and into that P6 position. Trackside making his way through Sector 2. And it looks like Mr. Miller going through Sector 1 here. Rocket Man and Peak Hour currently working up through Dunlop Curve. Sorry about that poor qualifying there, but we got Rocket Man on pole, Natural second, Trackside third, Swazi fourth, Mr. Miller fifth, Boonster sixth, Peak Hour seventh, Coma Copa eighth, and yeah. And it looks like we have partly cloudy here for the Grand Prix. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are about to go out, and we are off to the races. As you can see, and something major just happened. And it looks like everybody is going to retire from the session here. Not exactly sure if there was a mistake, and it appears a lot of people are leaving the session. So we're going to do a lobby restart. We got 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out, and away we go. We're finally off to the races. 17 cars on the grid for the season opener here at the Suzuka International Circuit. And we got some debris already flying in the background here as we're making our way through the first turn. And off the exit we go. It looks like a Williams of blue has fallen to the back of the field. Gonna jump up towards the front, towards the leaders here, as Rocket Man has gotten off well in the lead, making their way up Dunlop curve. And they're gonna make their way into turn 9 now. Off the exit of turn 11, we're going to make our run through 120R and heading towards Spoon Curve. And we're going to make our way down the start-finish straight in towards turn 1 of the first turn. Swazi is 0.3 of a second back of Natural. And it doesn't look like he's going to be making that move on him. DeBoonster falling off the back, lost the DRS, and Mr. Miller is going to make a mistake. And the McLaren of Osmanian Devil got into the back of him, missing that left-hand side of the end plate here on his front wing. He is going to be struggling now with a little bit of understeer as they're making their way up Dunlop curve. Modern Ty has appeared to make a mistake, drops down into that P14 position, and on his way forward again. And Swazi is now making his way in towards turn 9 and 10, and off the exit of 11, we're going to head towards 120R and then Spoon Curve. And we're going to head through Spoon. Swazi's still right on that rear diffuser of the Red Bull in front of him. Natural under a lot of pressure. Is he going to be able to hold him off down the start-finish straight? We're going to drop down here in the grid. You got the McLarens of Lepsky and Osmanian Devil. Not looking to make a change here between the two, even though we have some front wing damage on one of the McLarens. And into Casio Triangle off the exit of turn 16. Osmanian Devil is going to continue on with the races. He is going to give his teammate DRS as now we're heading down the start-finish straight. Osmanian goes to the inside. Lepsky looking around the outside in the first turn. And he is going to overtake his Papaya teammate there. It looks like that was well-coordinated attack from the both of them as they did not lose much time in continuing on with their way. Swazi was not able to get by Natural. We do have two Aston Martins inside the top 5. Osmanian Devil's a second and a half behind the McLaren of Lepsky. He's now going to be able to hold up Komakopa a little bit with this wing damage. As now Komakopa is going to be trying to potentially look for that overtake into the hairpin here of turn 10. And now Bald Guy racing on the back of the Alpine. And off the exit of Spoon, heading down this back stretch towards 130R. Not much going on. Is Swazi close enough to attempt to move into Casio Triangle? He's going to look to the outside. Natural will defend to the inside of Casio Triangle. Off the exit of turn 17, now 18 down the start finish straight. Once again, 0.4 of a second separating the two. And here comes Swazi, right up to the back of the Red Bull. He's going to go to the inside, side by side down the start finish straight. And now Swazi is inside the top 2. Lepsky is going to be looking to put some pressure on Rocket Man here up in the front to see if he can catch him. As we are appearing, Comacopa is still stuck behind Osmanian Devil with that wing damage. Raptor has now separated the two Kick Sauber teammates here that were both running P8 and P10. And we got a 5-car, 6-car train going on through the S's. Now into turn 9 we go, and we're going to head towards the hairpin of turn 10. And as we see these two coming in, Comacopa is able to finally get by the papaya of Osmanian Devil going into turn 9, or turn 10, or sorry, turn 8 of Degnar Curve. As they're now heading in towards the hairpin of turn 10, train's getting bigger of 7 cars. And we're heading through 120R, and it doesn't appear Swazi has gained any time on Rocket Man in front. Rocket Man's got a rocket ship here in the Monday night tier, as Lepsky's right behind Natural now, was able to overtake the Boonster, and the Boonster is currently off the circuit. Not exactly sure what is going on with him. He might just be beached. No, he is not. Finally getting back into gear as all the traffic is getting through. The Boonster's going to dive into pit lane. Swazi's still putting on the challenge here with this big train challenging through Sector 1. The Boonster has unfortunately left the session, probably due to some rear wing damage. And Comacopa is still stuck behind that papaya. And through the hairpin we go, as Osmanian Devil has appeared to go into pit lane to replace that front wing. Swazi and Natural are going to swap once again down the back stretch, heading towards 130R. And they're going to make their way into Casio Triangle. These two are still putting the fight towards each other since the start of the Grand Prix. Off the exit of turn 17, now through 18, heading towards the start-finish line. As Swazi's going to overtake Natural once again down the start-finish straight into first turn. He is now going to be back up into that P2 position. And I just realized I never showed tire compounds here, but we got mediums up for the top 4. Then hards for your 5 and 6, mediums all the way down into P12. And the rest of the grid has blocks to replace their front tires. We're now going to make our way up Dunlop curve in towards Degnar curve. Cross the sector 1 spot, or sector 1 split. Now into turn 8. Through 9 into the hairpin of turn 10. And we officially have a safety car. Not exactly sure how that was caused. Let's see, bong it down here. Lulu, no front wing on that Williams, so it looks to be he may have made the mistake somewhere on the circuit. And under safety car we are. It appears everybody has made their pit stop trying to get to the end of the Grand Prix. Mr. Miller stayed out on his 11-lap-old hard tires. He is going to have to make one more stop, maybe not, as I believe he might have balked on lap 1, so he could try to make those hard tires extend. However, they will be losing grip towards the end of the Grand Prix. Definitely going to be potentially in the puncture range for sure. But we will see how the Racing Bulls of Mr. Miller fans out here at the end of the Grand Prix. And I'm assuming safety car will be in this time through. And the lights are back to green as we're making our way down into the first turn. It appears Rocketman did not get too much of a jump over Mr. Miller here, but he is on much fresher tires compared to the Racing Bulls behind him in that Visa Cash App. And right behind him is Swazi, who's been fighting with Natural for that P2 position all Grand Prix. Up the Dunlop curve we go of turn 7. Gonna head toward Degnar now of turn 8. Very quick right-hander. Easy to hit the track limits, not much runoff there as there is the gravel trap. Mr. Miller is now fallen out of DRS range from Rocket Man. Unfortunately, with only one DRS straight here in Suzuka, that Mr. Miller does not really have to worry about Swazi behind him, although Swazi is currently up 4/10 right now off the rear diffuser as we're going to jump on board heading into Casio Triangle, a big gap of 1.5 seconds between your two leaders. And we're going to make our way off exit 17 now down the start-finish straight. DRS is going to be activated again this time through, but nobody will have the DRS flap wide open down the start-finish straight in towards the first turn. Down into turn 1 we go, and it looks to be everybody's going to continue to hold on to their position for the time being. No overtaking capabilities. Osmanian Devil down into P16, continuously falling through the Grand Prix. After all the pit stop exchanges, we got Modern Tie up 9 positions, started from the back, with Raptor up 5, as well as Lepsky. Mr. Miller up 3 positions, started in P5, had an early spin from the Grand Prix, dropped down to the back of the grid, decided not to box under that last safety car, and we are heading in towards turn 10. Off the exit of the hairpin, Mr. Miller appears to get a good getaway. The Papaya of Lepsky looking down to the inside of Natural of the Racing Bulls as we head through 120R in towards Spoon Curve here of turn 12 and 13, I believe. Down this back stretch, DRS will be activated, and that is Modern Tie around in the back, and he unfortunately has lost the car and brought out another safety car here in Japan. Very unfortunate for Modern Tie. Started at the back of the grid, lost it off the exit of Spoon Curve, and just completely could not correct that car into the inside wall. Natural is now 2.5 tenths of a second behind Swazi. Apologize for the inconvenience tonight, as Raptor is currently looking to battle on with trackside. Natural currently working on Swazi. Komakopa is now in the picture here. We are now 3/4 of a second separating Natural and Swazi here. Trackside right on the rear diffuser of the Haas of peak hour. And into Casio Triangle we go. Trackside was looking for the dummy move to the inside. Now attempting the switchback off the exit of the Casio Triangle. He is going to get better acceleration off the exit. Opens up the DRS flap, pulls right up to the back of that Haas. And to the outside he goes down into the first turn. And trackside up into P5, a defending champion here in the CCRL Monday Night tier. He's looking to hopefully add another title to his name as he is making his way through the S-curves of Sector 1. Natural here, he's been a contender for the recent seasons. He's going to be looking to try and contend once again up in the front. Swazi right behind him, a new driver this season. Mr. Miller in P4 has been a guy with some pace, just a little bit of unfortunate luck. Trackside, welcome back once again. Peak Hour is another returning driver looking around the outside of the hairpin. He's not going to be able to attempt any move, and he's going to continue to fall behind here on trackside. Komakopa in the Alpine in P7 is now going to follow right behind Bald Guy Racing with Bongit right behind him in P9. Bald Guy Racing is a new driver here in this division. Bonga in P9 with Ray Lobo in P10. Very familiar with Ray Lobo. Welcome to CCRL Monday Night Tiers. We are glad to have you here. Raptor in that P11 position, trailing off behind about 9 seconds back. Osmanian Devil, Lou, and Patty Cake will round out your remaining active drivers as Swazi is going to be attempting to make a move down the inside of a natural into first turn. And off the exit we go through turn 2. Mr. Miller is hoping these guys will continue to battle to allow him to close back up to the back of him. He is on some very overextended hard tires. Actually, now he's on a pair of soft tires. Must have boxed under that safety car. And he is on the soft, trying to make him last until the end of the Grand Prix. He is looking to catch up to Natural, down to 1.5 seconds back. Peak Hour 2 seconds behind him, with Trackside a second behind him. Komakopa right behind him, as we now make our way into the hairpin off the exit of 11. Bald Guy Racing in P7 was able to make his way by Trackside. Trackside's now going to be kind of in a Sauber sandwich, but Ray Lobo's 2.5 seconds back, trying to close up to the back of them and get his first top 10 finish here of the Monday Night tier. Natural still chasing down Swazi. We got about 4 laps to go when we cross the line this time. Heading towards the start-finish line, DRS flaps wide, open Natural to the left-hand side. He is going to complete the pass well before turn 1, and he will now be into that P2 position. Raptor off the exit of 17. It looked like Bongit got a little loose there off a Casio Triangle. Swazi's still right behind him. And off the exit of Casio Triangle we go once again on lap 25 of 27. Swazi back through the inside of Natural here. 7.5 seconds. They're using this to try and keep themselves separated from Mr. Miller, who's slowly closing up. Bald Guy side by side with Comacopa through first turn and into the S section now. And it looks like Bald Guy is going to slot right in front of Comacopa. Bongit has overtaken Raptor down into turn 1. Up through Dunlop Curve, now heading towards Degnar we go. We still have your top 3 still facing forward, no penalties. Mr. Miller still working extremely hard. I'm assuming those soft tires are starting to fall off a little bit now as peak hour is closing up to the back of them. High wear on the soft tires for this circuit. It's mostly going to be because of Sector 1 and Sector 2 due to the excessive high-speed cornering, and especially Sector 1 with the S-curves. As we're now going to make our way down the long backstretch. And through Sector 1, up through, and Trackside unfortunately had DNF. What happened to Trackside? We're going to ride on board Patty Cake here. May have lost himself here in the spoon curve. Yeah, it appears off the edge of the spoon is where Trackside has made a mistake. Down into P14 he goes. Very unfortunate for him as he's having somewhat of a decent run tonight here for the season opener. We are on the penultimate lap with Rocket Man 9 seconds out front. He's got a stellar setup for tonight here. And Rocket Man is going to lead us through the Casio Triangle for the penultimate time. Swazi and Natural for the final time down the start-finish straight, heading towards the first turn, and it appears that Swazi has continued on his way with the second place finish. Mr. Miller is fighting with peak hour. He's closed up to 1.1 seconds back from Natural here. We are on the final lap of the Grand Prix in Japan. Blue was able to get around Osmanian Devil. Very unfortunate for Osmanian Devil, as Swazi here still trying to fight to defend off Natural, hoping that Mr. Miller doesn't peek himself into the picture here as they're heading towards the hairpin of turn 11. As we're now heading through 120R up into Spoon Curve on the final lap. Is Swazi going to be contending for the second place finish here with Natural? They're both going to be 0.3 of a second separating. We have ERS being activated on both cars heading towards 130R. Natural's really tucked up to the back of him. He's about 1.5 back. Is he going to attempt a move down into the inside? He is not going to be looking for that move into Casio Triangle. Peak Hour was looking for a move, however, on Mr. Miller. And Rocket Man wins the Grand Prix. Swazi's going to come home in second, Natural in third. Mr. Miller will take home fourth over Peak Hour, and then Bald Guy and Comacopa. Ray Lobo right behind them with Bonget, Raptor. Ray Lobo across the line, up into that P7 position based on time penalties. Bonget is going to now come across in 9th. Raptor in 10th. Lou will finish 11th potentially. And there you have it, your final finishing order, folks. Well, folks, there you have it for the CCRL Monday Night Tier. As next week they will be taking on the Monaco Grand Prix in Monaco next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, congratulations to Rocket Man with your victory. Swazi and Nashville rounding out your podium. Mr. Miller 4th, Peak Hour 5th, Bald Guy Racing 6th, Ray 7th, Komakopa 8th, Bong at 9th, 10th Raptor 11th, Lou, Osmanian Devil 12th, Patty Cake 13th, Trackside, Lepke Modern Tie, and the Boomster will round out the grid. In the meantime, I will see you all next week. Right here on the CCRL TV channel. I hope you all have a fantastic night, and I will talk to you later.